Raise your hand if you think that Baby Yoda is the greatest thing to come out of 2019. Come on, you know it's true. How you doing, my friends? Jovenshire here on the Jovenshire channel, where we cover all things superheroes, video games, comic books, TV shows, all things geeky here in one little place. And in this case, we talk about Star Wars today. So before we jump into my little mind dump of what I think about Baby Yoda's age, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and like this video, if you like it, because it's a great way to, support the channel, and it doesn't cost you anything. Plus, if you like this video, I guarantee you're gonna like the other videos that we do here on the channel. Now, as we go into 2020, I'd like to look back at the great things that happened in 2019. Top of my list is The Mandalorian. Now, yes, this video is kind of a deep dive into Yoda's age and why I think it's a little wonky, but I would be I'd be greatly saddened if I didn't give a few thoughts and opinions on the Star Wars stuff that's happened this year. First of all, Jedi Fallen Order, loved the game, playing it a second time through. Battlefront 2 got its Celebration Edition. If you thought this game was really crappy when it first came out, give the game another look because it is a phenomenal Star Wars game now. Now it's there. Mandalorian, oh my god, first 3 episodes had me so much of a fan of just The Mandalorian that if this was the only thing Star Wars, I'd probably still get a Mandalorian tattoo. And then we had Star Wars Episode 9 come out. I enjoyed it because when I see a Star Wars movie, I just want to feel like a kid again, and it did that for me. I would have done the ending a little bit differently as a storyteller, just saying, but let's talk about The Mandalorian and what's kind of got my head bugged out about Yoda's age. Yes, I will keep calling him Baby Yoda because that's what I'm going to, I don't know, it's just what I subscribe to. He's adorable, he's Baby Yoda. No, he's not a Yoda as a baby, or is he? No, okay. Just get over it if you want me to call him the child. I'm not going to. At the end of episode 1 is a moment that will change the Star Wars fandom forever. The reveal of Baby Yoda. We find out earlier in the episode that his bounty, that the Mandalorian's bounty, is going to be about 50 years old. And aren't we all just in so much shock when we see this little baby with the ears and the buggy eyes? Oh, you just want to eat him like he eats a frog. Find out that he's 50 years old, and that kind of rubbed me the wrong way because when you compare him to really the only other creature of his species that we really know, and that's, Yoda proper. Yoda. That's funny. Anyways, we know that Yoda dies at the age of 900 because of something he says to Luke Skywalker. See if you were as good looking at my age at 900. Okay. A, that was a bad Yoda impression. I'm sorry. And 2, I botched that line completely.
When 900 years old you reach, look as good you will not.
He says that he's 900 years old, and we can see what a grown-up Yoda looks like at the age of 900. So that makes when we see him in the prequels, he's late 800s and still spry enough to fight Count Dooku. That's super cool. But how do you have a Baby Yoda who's at 50, who's almost at 1/9 of his entire life, is still in baby form, and then somehow is supposed to mature in the next 50 years or so to kind of be more of an adult that will eventually just 9 times later be as old as Yoda? And to kind of put this math into perspective, let's compare it to our species, the human race. So if you have Yoda that lives to the age of 900, we can kind of compare that to a very old human being that passes away at the age of 90, making a Yoda, okay, that's a species now. A Yoda lives about 10 times as long as a human being. You know how we kind of look at dogs, they 1 year or 7 years for a dog. Well, in this case, 1 year for a human being is 10 years for a Yoda. And if you take that math and reflect that back onto Baby Yoda's 50, so that means that 1/10 of that would be the equivalent of a 5-year-old human being. And that's where it kind of bugs me, because a 5-year-old, has the cognitive skills of, a 5-year-old, who he can communicate well, he might be able to read, but he's running around, he's talking, he understands what's going around him, he has emotions, and if Baby Yoda is 50, and that's the equivalent of a 5-year-old, he should have some of those aspects. Yes, he's capable of moving around. We see that he can move around a ship even though we don't see the movement. We know that it's happening, but he's not communicating at the same range of a 5-year-old. And then to top it off, in Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back, Yoda, while talking to Luke Skywalker again, says that he's been training Jedis for over 800 years. So if he dies at 900, but has been training Jedi for over 800 years, that means at the age of 100, he, somewhere around there, should have the cognitive skills, ability, and knowledge to train a bunch of Jedi, or at least start training Jedi. And I don't believe that the 50-year-old Baby Yoda that we have, in 50 years, based on this equation of how Yoda's age, is going to be able to have all the functionality that an adult Yoda will need in order to train a bunch of Jedi. If in 50 years he's only still at like the equivalent of maybe a 1-year-old or 2-year-old, how is it in another 50 years that he makes it to this matured version of a Yoda that can teach Jedi? And that was bugging the heck out of me. The age range didn't make sense to me. So the math right there alone doesn't match up. So let's look at some ideas of how we can prove that, you know, it does work. Maybe, and hear me out here, maybe Yodas are kind of like puppies. How do you make Baby Yoda even cuter? You compare him to a puppy. Now, a dog it's born a puppy, obviously, but it really stays in its adolescent puppy form for about 2 years before it kind of matures, and then it's like, all right, hey, I'm a dog now. I'm not really in my puppy phase. I'm a dog now, until it then, you know, gets older, and then it's just like, you know, I'm an old dog. And that could be what Baby Yoda's like. Perhaps in the first 50 years, he just stays in baby form, and the next 50 years after that, you see his biological makeup really start to move up faster, and then he becomes a matured Yoda in the same amount of time it took for him to become, you know, a tadpole Yoda into Baby Yoda, or however that works. And then you just have 800, 900 years of this older, slowly maturing, slower aging Yoda species. So 0 to 50, very slow aging, still a baby. From 50 to 100, actually then ages really quickly, gets to maturity, and then kind of slows back down for the next 800, 900 years. So it could be the same biological makeup as a puppy, or maybe Yoda was just like this special one in a million of his species, where at a very young age, at 100, he was able to train Jedi because he's just so smart and he's so in tune with the Force that he's also able to slow down his aging process, and much kind of like the Sith do and the Jedi, maybe he just has enough control of the Force that he can live much longer than he should. And the only thing that kind of throws this off is that we do know that there's the other female Yoda in Episode 1 named Yaddle, who looks not as old as Yoda, but also very old, and obviously maybe not as in tune with the Force, but still a Jedi Master, because she is on the Council. So she might not be as good as Yoda, but, you know, good enough to be up there. But right now, the age just doesn't make sense to me. But that is just my thought and opinion. Now I want to talk to you guys. Is this just a completely bogus and stupid idea? And you're probably wondering, Joven, you made an entire video just on, you think the math of Yoda's age is wrong because the species might mature in a weird way?
You're goddamn right.
So again, we got other videos coming out here on the channel in 2020. We're going to come back in a really strong way. I'm working on a cartoon on another channel that I can't wait to share more with you in January. It's looking to air at the end of January, just to kind of give you a window on that. Another animated series that I'm working here on this channel. Just a lot of different projects, and I don't want you to miss any of it. So if you like this video, please sign up for notifications, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until the next time, guys, I'll see you later.
I'll see you later.
Thank you so much for watching this episode here on the Jovenshire channel. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and smash that like button, because you know, you don't want to miss what we do here on the channel. And of course, in the meantime, we've got a video here on the right that I think you might like, and the one here on the left, well, YouTube thinks you're going to like it, so go give it a watch.